Hey guys, Troy Francis here with another video. So we're going to try this. I'm sitting in a cafe and it's a little bit noisy. There's a bit of music going on in the background, but hopefully you can hear what I'm saying and you can get some value from this content anyway. So look, here's the thing. We're always talking about charisma, right? We're always talking about, you know, women like dudes who are charismatic. What does it actually mean and how can you become more charismatic? Well, an easy way to do it is to join my course, Charisma and Dating Academy, for which there is a link below. But that's not the main reason for making this video. I wanted to give you some actionable advice. Now, the thing is with charisma, it's kind of like everyone's going to see it differently, okay? So there are people in public life who doubtless are charismatic, okay? They have millions of followers, they have loads of people who think they're fantastic, and they are obviously ticking the right boxes for a great number of people. However, I personally might not like them, okay? So an example might be, I don't know, like somebody like Matt Walsh, for example, or even Ben Shapiro, right? You could say they're charismatic in a certain way because they've got a ton of followers. You know, they've got a ton of people who look up to them and regard them as being worthy of plaudits and so on and so forth. Personally, I'm not into those particular characters, and so for me, it's like whatever charisma they have for the other people, I'm not really seeing it, you know. And by the way, look, all due respect to those guys, I don't dislike them. I'm just not, you know, I'm not really buying into the charisma in the same way that their fans do. Okay, so it is somewhat in the eye of the beholder. Okay. Cheers. Charisma is somewhat in the eye of the beholder. You're never going to please all of the people all of the time. And when we translate this into, you know, like a dating context, what you have to remember is that you're never going to be successful with every single woman, okay? It's just not going to happen. So, you know, there are going to be some women who are going to be more open to your brand of charisma than others. And often you just kind of have to accept that. It is what it is, right? There's not a lot you can do about it. So bear that in mind. However, when we break it down to its fundamentals, what is charisma actually about? Well, it's been defined in various books, but a very popular description of charisma is power, presence, and warmth. Okay, power, presence, and warmth. So you have a degree of power, whether that's social power, you know, kind of soft power, whether that's power in the sense of political power or actual, you know, status within society. So you got that, or physical power, it could be. So you got that marked off in some way. Presence, you know, you are extremely present in the situation. You are there with the person. Okay, you are communing with them, you know, on that very, very deep level. If you think about Bill Clinton, the way he used to deal with people, the way he used to, you know, meet members of the public and so on and so forth, very present in those interactions. But another part of it is warmth, okay? So are you also human? Do you have somewhat of a human side to you? You know, you're not just completely this, you know, one-dimensional 2D alpha person, okay? You need to have kind of all three of those things in order to be charismatic. But above and beyond that, though, I would say real charisma comes from being into yourself, okay? I think a degree of narcissism is actually something that marks out most charismatic people. Being somewhat bought into your own myth, okay, counterintuitively, actually makes you more attractive to other people. Those people that I think about on social media who really get a lot of traction or who lots of people really buy into, many of them are just complete egomaniacs who think they are fucking absolutely awesome. Now, a lot of people will disagree and think they're idiots and they'll flame them and they'll write rude comments and stuff, and that's fine, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But there are also a bunch of other people who kind of just buy into the person's own narcissism. They buy into the person's own self-esteem. It's almost like this, their sense of themselves is so strong, their sense of their own glory and wonderment is so big that people buy into it and they're like, yeah, shit, that guy is really great. I'm going to subscribe, I'm going to buy everything he does, I'm going to go on every course, I'm going to get every book, I'm going to watch every video, etc., etc. Because this guy's got such strong self-belief that it becomes magnetic, okay? And I believe, and you can use this in a dating context as well, that that is very much true. If you really buy into your own mythology, your own sense of yourself, your own archetype, okay, and you transmit that, then you become, it's almost like you've got this force field around you, because even if the woman, say you go on a date, right, and the woman's not particularly into you, she's going to try and test your frame, okay, she's going to try and poke at you to see if you really are the kind of alpha dude that you are presenting as or not, okay. If you are sufficiently bought into your own narrative, your own sense of yourself as being this sex-worthy kind of top of the tier guy, okay, then even if she ends up not liking you, then you're still going to hold that same belief about yourself anyway. And it's that inviolability that you need to develop, okay. So I would say having a very strong sense of yourself, what archetype you are seeking to present, and just being very steadfast in that, and being very sort of unafraid to communicate that to other people. And really just leaning into what is fucking great about you, okay? Because we tend to be, if you're British particularly, I know my American friends watching this, it's different for you guys, but for the British, we tend to often be quite sort of self-deprecating. We tend to talk ourselves down a bit. And we need to stop doing that. We actually need to lean in instead into what makes us fucking brilliant, and really celebrate that and really build that up in our own minds. You know, you've got to go out there into the social realm thinking that you're fucking amazing, okay? That may not be your natural default instinct. You might be more self-effacing than that. You might find that kind of a nerve-wracking thing to do. You might find that sort of alien to your character. But the more that you can get into that frame of mind, the better that you're going to do socially, because people are going to buy into it, okay? There are going to be people, like, as I say, who are going to think you're an idiot or a faker or delusional or whatever. Fuck it, it doesn't matter, forget those people. All you're bothered about is the people that you do attract into your orbit. And believe me, that steadfast self-confidence, that steadfast bordering on psychopathic narcissism as part of your character is incredibly magnetic and is incredibly attractive for the right people, okay? So that, to me, is a key component of charisma. It certainly is present in most of the people that I think all of the people that I would regard as being charismatic myself. And to be honest, it's also somewhat present in even people who I don't particularly like myself, but others would regard as being charismatic. So really think about that. Really think about buying in to your own mythology and celebrating yourself and not being afraid to do so. I'm not talking about, it's not about going out and boasting to people. It's not about going around and telling people how great you are and being like really, you know, like, oh, look at my suit, look at my cufflinks, look at my watch. It's not like that, but it's just having that that solid core of inner self-belief that sort of permeates everything that you do, okay? And other people are going to sense that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Please do give me a like on the way out. Please do subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let me know below what you think, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye-bye.